everyone. Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters here in San Jose. We got some more League of Legends action coming your way. This is the final best of 5 series, and we're already 2 games in. If you've missed the first few, I'm very sorry. You might want to watch some VODs. They were pretty good games. Cloud9 coming out strong, but Unicorns of Love have definitely been putting up a fight. Monty, I kind of want to pose this to you. With that early game being so much in their favor, should we see more of an assassin kind of type style coming out of them? Power of Evil loves the LeBlanc, but what else can fit with that and keep them with the lead?
I mean, I don't really know if I have the answers right here, just because Cloud9 does seem to be doing so well in this pick and ban phase, and all the curveballs that Unicorns of Love tries to throw at them, it's not really, they keep kind of, Cloud9 just keeps knocking them out of the park. Yeah. Even though Power of Evil did get that LeBlanc pick last time, maybe he'll go back to his trusty Syndra that did kind of fall all the way through the draft in the last one. I think Kiki's, I would like to see like an earlier ganking jungler, just to try to do something and have a little bit more of an effect early.
I feel like he's got a fixation on Devourer right now, because he's in the TF, the Kayle, the Warwick.
Yeah, he just wants to farm it all out, man.
Something similar here.
Yeah, there's a lot of really powerful early ganking junglers in the game. You can do really good level 2 ganks. There's like Jarvan, there's Pantheon, there's Lee Sin, and he just doesn't want to play any of these champions.
I think Pantheon's the key, just because it's a point-and-click stun.
Right.
It's hard to mess up.
Well,
the ultimate's pretty easy to mess
Everybody's
up.
been playing quite well this weekend, and we do want you at home on your phones here in the arena at SAP here in San Jose. Go to facebook.com/IEM and vote for who you think is the MVP coming out here at San Jose at the Intel Extreme Masters. We are about to crown our first League of Legends Grand Finals champion. It could be Cloud9 in one game. You were saying it might be the 3 kill coming out from Unicorns of Love. Do you think they have it?
What, to do the 3-0 comeback? No.
Are you
Save
the troll.
I was just pulling your leg.
Feed this to me. Feed me troll.
No, there's too much jungle control, and like you just see it, like Elimination and Meteos are just all up in the jungle, and you can tell that Unicorns of Love aren't experienced in handling that kind of pressure.
Absolutely not. We've seen that a few times over, and now we're about to hop into picks and bans as this game goes on. Remember, hit that vote at facebook.com/IEM, and we are going to see what these teams have for each other. We have had Vizichachi getting hit hard in the top lane. They focused a little bit on high and mid. His Orianna play has been quite fantastic. Him and we saw Elimination with the plays last game. We'll see if they can do it again in that buddy system. The Thresh is still on the board. It's huge for Hylissang. It's been big for Elimination as well. Probably won't be, okay, never mind. It will be the first pick.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Cloud9 had these very clear plans coming into this, and you know, it worked for them the last time they were on blue side. Go ahead and take that Thresh if it's up and available, and ban out the 2 top laners that you're most concerned about the carry potential from Vizichachi on.
Yeah, I'm surprised they'd go right back into the Braum Lucian again. It didn't seem to work out for them the first game. It's just really unusual that they do that. I mean, I know they want to keep their other picks kind of mysterious, but I just don't like them on that lane.
Yeah, especially since there has been more attention paid to the mid lane this time around in bans. LeBlanc actually taken out by Cloud9, so that does put a lot more emphasis on the Syndra, I feel like, in this matchup, where both of them really prefer the champion.
Slowly waiting now. Cloud9 sees the Braum and the Lucian. It becomes a pretty good lane for Vardags and Hylissang. They have been up in CS in a similar type lane like that, or might actually been the same with one Vardags playing something else. But they can control that. Sneaky Elimination. We're down CS in the previous match, so we'll see if they can get that and hold it. We're looking for Unicorns of Love to really play a strong early game here. Hopefully they can hold that, because Cloud9 has been showing their veterancy in that late game fight prowess in the control and just strategical positioning.
Yeah, and I really like that C9 kind of goes with this Lee Sin instead of the Jarvan when they don't have a lot of AoE from Lysandra and Rumble coming out of the top lane, and they kind of switch gears to a more pick-oriented style alongside the Thresh and the Maokai.
Yeah, they keep picking pretty much the same team comp every single game. They're singing the same tune every game, and they just, Unicorns of Love don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, plus, you know, they've already got things to answer for the Warwick if the Warwick does come, and they're already prepared once again for the Poppy. They've sort of done the same thing where they ban out 4 of the top laners and then pick one, see what Vizichachi decides to go with instead.
We've seen the Shinzao a few times. Haven't liked it too much myself. Kobe, how do you think it fits into the comp? How do you think it fits into the meta right now?
So I actually kind of like Shinzao right now. Saint's not a very big fan of the champion. But once again, it's another champion that it really excels with Devour. So it really does fit Vizicachi style.
Please no more Devour. Make it stop. Make that items go away. I don't know. I don't really like it either just because Zen is, like, who are you going to go on so far in that team comp? You have, like, Maokai, Lee Sin, Thresh, like, really good front line.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like they could be stopped or hit up by Chum the Waters themselves. Assassination potential now on both sides with the Fizz being picked up. And we'll see Corky coming in for Sneaky as well. It's going to be his. I'm thinking, like, no more AD carries. That's not highs, but they do get back onto the Corky train for them. Cloud9 has a great composition coming into this one to fight all out, control objectives. We'll have to see if they can do it more than Unicorns of Love. And if Unicorns of Love can do something tricky to start this game, Kikis has really been the only one to kind of deviate from the standard jungle pathing. He's actually tried to 3-buff a few times, but hurt himself in the end doing that. See if they actually need to do something.
I wanted to point out the Fizz versus Syndra matchup.
Yeah.
It's actually incredibly... it's an incredibly tight skill matchup, and it really relies on the 2v2 with the junglers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fragile.
Is that Keen?
That's
Vizicachi. So they said they had really deep pockets and more tricks left. So here goes one more.
This is just their mascot right on the field right now.
There
They
you
have to
go.
bring it out.
They're definitely, you know what skin he's going to use, right? There's no question what skin he's going to use
If they
here.
don't, I'm going to be severely disappointed.
Everybody's going to be
such a big
severely
troll.
disappointed. Truly representing the Unicorns of Love this time. Vizicachi gets Hecarim in the top lane. We'll be throwing it over to Joe, Jat, and D-Man in just a few. We'll be right back with what could be our final game here in a best-of-5 series for Cloud9 versus Unicorns of Love from Intel Extreme Masters San Jose.
Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. And if you were looking for the answer to the quiz question, so were we, but it didn't actually come up, so I'm still a little bit confused as to what LeBlanc's real name is.
You and me were saying Larissa, and D-Man did not say Roseanne or Martha.
Evane. I don't know how. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Tweet us, tell us. We'll find out later,
Apparently
I guess.
it is Evane.
It's Evane.
I won.
It's
That's
Evane.
it. I win the internet. There we go.
Well, I had no idea about that one. Either way, let's move on and be a bit more serious here because we're going into game number 3 of Cloud9 versus the Unicorns of Love. It could be the game that clinches the title and the spot in Katowice for Cloud9. If not, it's still a long, long way back here for the Unicorns of Love. Want to first just go straight into the top lane and talk about Hecarim.
That'll be cool, I think. I mean, Maokai is the type of champion that you can pick a lot of things against and have successful lanes. So that is kind of the theory behind why you would pick Poppy against it, gets her through a hard laning phase. Hecarim is the same way. If you get a lot of gold on a Hecarim, he can become a really potent late game force. And I really think that's what Vizicachi is going for again here. And it's going to have to do with, even if they get a lead, whether or not they can keep up with Cloud9's ridiculously good shot calling.
Yeah, their tactical play over the last few games has really been on point. Sneaky, just pushing and causing problems. Here we go, and there it is. The Unicorn of Love, I think, for Vizicachi. We'll see just how well it works, whether they really can live up to their name. And more importantly, with a Cloud9, go for an invade, because it looks like they absolutely want to go full in on this one. They may try and dupe. Look at this, they're trying to bait Power of Evil in. Elimination, not going to go for it, though. And it's going to be a tough old fight in that mid lane, you know, a Fizz versus Syndra. Again, it was so many times people said, if that stun doesn't land, he's on you.
It's very true, and Hai keeps going back to the well with that Fizz pick again and again. I haven't seen it show tremendous success. He has some good games on it, makes some great plays on it, but if there's a champion you see Cloud9 lose with more than you do see them other champions, it's Fizz. I didn't have the wording right on that one. But they lose more with Fizz than they do with other stuff.
Okay, I got you now. I was a little confused myself. But yeah, we saw there Cloud9 moving straight into the red side of UOL's jungle, getting down wards, including that deep one inside of the top lane to see exactly what's going to be going on there. Does that indicate that Cloud9 want to switch things up? If you look at the minimap, it looks that way because Thresh Corki headed towards the top side.
So the Unicorns know about that ward. They've seen them do it. They knew they were going there. And Vizicachi is reacting, and instead he's coming to buddy system with Kickers this time around. They know that that 2v1's gone towards the top. In fact, there's 4 members at the top there. And of course, Unicorns pretty much mirror matching right now against Cloud9.
I'm actually happy to see that Cloud9 is lane swapping against Unicorns of Love here, because it's something that they are very untested in, especially teams that are newer to really highly competitive play. I feel like just can't play at the same level from a lane swap perspective. So I really want to see how they adapt to this, whether or not Vizicachi can keep up his farm, whether they can get a really early dragon chuckled properly. And I mean really early, apparently. This seems a bit too early. It doesn't give much global, it doesn't give much experience anymore, and it gives no global gold, but at least they'll get it.
It is something that a lot of people have been doing a lot with Pantheon. We've seen it in the OGM, we've seen these very early dragons, and haven't seen it with Xin Zhao, and especially with Hecarim alongside in a Pram. This is the unlikely trio to do that early dragon.
They're doing it perfectly. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what happens when they don't do it perfectly. This is actually the last patch where something like this is going to be possible. In the next patch, he won't be so easy to cancel his auto attacks. A lot of things are changing, but yeah, they're going to spend 30 seconds on that dragon.
Hello.
And I bet you it goes down.
Well, that's why we don't have audio for the game sounds, I guess. That answer was resolved pretty quickly. So there it is. Yay, we're back on. Okay, so Power of Evil in this mid lane. Let's see how he does against Hai right now. I was just saying in the break, you know, one thing that was very different in this game, very evidently different. Oh, Power of Evil's been baiting into this one, isn't he? Oh, we're going to see whether Meteos is going to go in there earlier. But one thing that is evidently different is in all of the matches we've seen throughout this Intel Extreme Masters, all of the teams that Unicorns of Love have played, Power of Evil has dominated that mid lane. Hasn't been able to do it against Hai for one reason or another, whether it be Meteos in there helping him out or just Hai simply outplaying him.
Yeah, and I think it's just Hai has been showing a lot of respect to Power of Evil, which isn't typically the way Hai had success in the past. Hai usually beat people by being really, really aggressive early game, kind of playing a game of chicken and left him vulnerable to ganks. But this time it's actually been Kikas and Power of Evil who want to kill Hai a bunch, and he's just been playing the passive dude, which he can't necessarily do on Fizz, so I'm very interested.
Well, for now that lane is fairly even, as is the bottom. Only real discrepancy up in the top side where Balls, obviously the lane swaps are in there, so Balls has a slight advantage if you compare him to his opposite number. Either way, we are seeing that Sneaky will be joined. I completely confused myself here. Balls will be joined by Lemon Nation for a bit of support in that bottom lane. Hulisang also coming down towards his AD carry. So we will get a 2 versus 2 in the bottom lane. It's just slightly different.
Yeah, but the main difference is, of course, it's shared experience down that bottom lane. Hai with a big minion wave against him. Will get stunned up here. Power of Evil with no mana, though, unfortunately. He has put the Ignite down. He just needed one more simple attack. The Q would not have quite been enough, but it's forced him out of lane.
Look at that wave, though. Hai does not want to let this go to waste, but he may be forced to. He's got enough mana for a playful trickster. Power Evil doesn't have much. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and force him off. That's why Meteos is here. The experience is so valuable that if Hai would have abandoned the turret there, the lane would have been lost for the entire game.
Well, there we go. He does get most of that in. We'll level up the experience and the creep score at this stage. However, Power of Evil going to try and stop him from going back, as Sneaky actually was damaged quite heavily there by Vizichachi. Running that ghost on Hecarim kind of fits with his style. Lemonation here actually will be caught out a little bit. They do have Hai in the mid lane. He's not got much HP. Oh, man, look at the damage there coming out from Power of Evil. He's not got much mana either, though. Meteos will be the first target. But they pull him in, and his first blood to Hai. TP's coming down into this middle lane as well. Balls will take the lantern away.
Way too bloodthirsty by Kikis there. He flashed in to try and get the last hit. Even if he gets it, he's going to trade the kill back and still burn his flash, especially considering Xin Zhao was an early presence champion and the gold wouldn't even have been that great later in the game. A tilty move, in my opinion, right there. Unicorns of Love, though, trying to push the turret afterwards.
Well, actually, Ball's going aggressive here, putting pressure on towards Hiliasang. We'll just keep them at bay. And well, both teleports used by the top laners. Of course, they were in standard lanes against AD carries who themselves have just quite happily benefited and farmed and froze them lanes as much as possible. Power of Evil just blowing his ultimate there, actually. I think he threw that at Ball, so that will be down on cooldown, and of course that would signify that he needs to go back and buy.
And that he shall indeed do. On the other side, Hai will come in with the second Doran's Ring, or two Doran's Rings on top of the Flask and an Amp Tome as well. So a bit more health, bit more AP. On the other side, actually, we see the Seeker's Arm Guard was picked up for Power of Evil. So a little bit of a different start for him this time around with Syndra.
Different start for Balls as well, actually, going straight towards the... Is he going to go... Is he
might do the Frozen Heart.
Yeah,
he just didn't start with a Warden Smell like Wicked did. He could be going for a very similar overall Maokai build, but we'll have to see that. I actually am very intrigued by the Seeker's Arm Guard on Syndra. Basically, with so much that can dive on top of him, it's not so much about the armor, it's about getting to Zhonya's so he gets the active for a potential Fizz Shark very early on in the game.
Well, blue buffs will be given over. Power of Evil gets his. Hai getting that one in their mid lane as well. And let's have a look where that leaves us. 1,000 gold for Cloud9 after 7.5 minutes. And look at Vizichachi. He is running away with the horse. Doesn't want to hang around too long, knowing that two men are coming his way. Meanwhile, Vardag's just been left alone to farm, but actually is behind technically on CS, comparing him over to Sneaky.
Yeah, it's an interesting trade there. They've traded Corki levels, basically, for Balls levels, because the top lane AD carry rolls across the board are even, but because of the missiles and getting the ultimate on Corki, just the spell damage in general, and the fact that he's a mid-game power spiking champion is something that is a benefit of Cloud9, for sure.
That was a good counter, actually. They've just taken the red buff away. Kikis is coming in to find his jungle emptied right now. And of course, they've moved around towards that mid lane. So Kikis fully uncovered. There's a pink ward giving him all the vision. And Meteos is clearing away the pink of themselves. He is at level 6 already, whereas Kikis still only 5. Doesn't want to deal with this one. Vizichachi also taken low. Two members again invaded. Looks like Hai is following through. Vizichachi has to run away from this one. And Cloud9 just brute force bullying Unicorns of Love out of their own jungle.
A lot of this actually comes back to the question of the incredibly early dragon and whether it was worth spending 40 seconds to get that first dragon buff secured, whereas Cloud9 was happily farming waves and getting experience. Then you add the fact that they're able to win that first little skirmish. It's going to be tricky for Unicorns Love to get back. Meteos is in a bit of trouble. Great kick.
Yeah, that's a brilliant kick. Safeguard straight into the ward inside of the Baron pit, and he will go out of danger. There's a fish coming through. Doesn't actually connect, but the hook will. Power of Evil now in a lot of trouble. What can he do? They put the exhaust onto Hiliasang there in the end. I feel that was meant for Power of Evil, but was clicked on the wrong person. Cloud9 not getting a kill there, but they've burnt 2 flashes and may have a free reign on this mid turret. Kikis, though, does come across the cover.
Again, it was actually Lemonation making the plays. His hooks have been completely on point during IEM San Jose here. Kick is trying everything he can to save this turret.
Oh, actually getting a lot of damage down to Meteos. Unfortunately, Meteos hadn't hit him, so tower damage didn't get drawn towards him. I don't think he can hold this one for much longer. They are going to back away and respect him. Sneaky's getting some basic attacks down. Kickers will clear that wave, so it holds it for now. While that was all happening, we also saw a little duel between Balls and Vardags. Vardags himself yet to go back and buy, so couldn't really do a great deal in that duel. Of course, a great big shield on Balls will be enough to not really worry himself. So Vardags first back to buy does get him a good portion of that Infinity Edge.
I do kind of want to talk about the Maokai Frozen Heart build again, because we criticized it a fair bit when Wicked built the Warden's Mail first. It was because when they swapped the lanes back, the armor wasn't going to help him. But in this case, for Balls, if he has the Glacial Shroud and they want to swap the AD carry out for a Hecarim, it's still physical damage. So the item is going to be good no matter what happens to the lanes and what Unicorns of Love choice is. I think it's just a better option overall here.
So Dragon number 2 is up on the map. Just 11 minutes in thanks to that very early Unicorns Dragon. Will they be able to hold this one? Will Cloud9 give that up? That's actually an ultimate coming in onto Power of Evil. The damage, though, is pushed back, but he will fall. It's Meteos that gets that one. And Cloud9 now, with less of a threat, may go down and pick up their first Dragon.
Cloud9 playing with so much confidence and a lot of comfort. They're really settling in here.
Well, they want to fight for it because they've invested a lot with those pink wards. Vardags gets one, he could get the second. In comes the horse. Is it amazing? That's the question. It doesn't look like he's going to get the damage down that they want. Instead, Balls tanking out the Hall of Unicorn. Sneaky comes back around. Has he got cleanup duty? Kickers goes deep again. Flashes out of the danger, but Vardags gets dragged in beautifully by Lemonation, and the Unicorns have to back away. This has been such a long fight. This early, the Power of Evil is actually back alive and rejoining the fight.
These long, prolonged fights are seeming to be a calling card of Unicorns of Love. They worked great in the TSM set, but time and time again in this Cloud9 set, they're pushing too far. They had the kill onto High. Kikis, when he flashed over against the wall, overcommitted the team, and it ended up to be a second death. Now, they're still pretty low for this Dragon. Let's see if Cloud9 can collapse.
They surely can. Move it in. 2,500 HP on the Dragon. Meteos getting into the picture. Ilisang will surely go down. There's a lot of damage come out from High, who's just waiting on his cooldowns to finish off that one. Lee Sin goes in. It's Meteos that gets his second kill. Vizichachi will try and escape here. High continues to chase through, and there is the kill from High, but he's dropped where he stands as well. Meanwhile, Ball's coming around the back, but Kiki's going deep. They managed to get the kill on Lemon Nation, and in the end, it's a 2-for-2 trade.
Wow, that minion saving the life of Kikis when the big one came through from Sneaky at the end of that fight. And yeah, a little bit of over-aggression on both sides here. Maybe a little bit of fatigue coming in. This is a lot of games Cloud9's been playing throughout today. Unicorns of Love still in it barely, but it's going to be tough.
Some close battles. A lot of summoner spells have been burnt throughout that long duration of fights. Ball's got himself some free time on this middle turret. And actually, he's putting a fair bit down towards it. Hillisang's going to come across. The man that was caught out. And that was a risky play from Unicorns, but it just shows they're still not afraid to make those calls. They're not afraid to make those plays, despite being 2-0 down, to make those desperate calls. Can we go Dragon? Can they get that second one built up? It was a risk that, with a second Dragon, is it that worth it going for that risky play? But it seemed to work out for them. Teleport is available for Vizichachi. It's not up for Balls, so Vizichachi can just keep on pushing that top lane while they set up for the inevitable next Dragon fight.
Yeah, and the great thing is it's still up, so we might not have to wait long for more action. These teams both very capable of finding picks, whether it be from Syndra or from Lemon Nation. There's a hook and a Syndra.
Oh, Ball's actually going low here. Will actually twist and advance into Vizichachi. Can he get away? That's a good ultimate. Will take him away from the fight. And here come Lemon Nation and the rest of the team of Cloud9. High, though, will go low. Sneaky finally joins in. 2 men are going down. Both of the kills go to Sneaky. Meanwhile, Meteos, 1 versus 3 at the back. Will wait for the rest of the team. It's a triple now for Sneaky. Not sure they can lock down Power of Evil. The hook going wide. It's going to be up to Sneaky here as to whether he's got the damage to finish off Power of Evil. He surely has now. That's a good stun, though, that will get him off.
And you can see what a force Sneaky is right now. Level 10 right now. The highest level in Unicorns of Love is Vardeg's at level 9. The solos are currently sitting at level 8, but that's because Sneaky was a solo. With the Trinity Force and the levels, he is the one swinging these fights because they are very close. But it's the Corki and the Corki missiles, and most importantly, Sneaky, who is turning the tides here.
And that's going to be surely the tower going down. There it is. It finished off. Sneaky does get that mid turret down, and that's 2-0 in turrets for Cloud9 as they start to slowly suffocate Unicorns once again and move still towards this dragon that has yet to go down because they're looking to duel once again.
It's a fight magnet. I'm totally fine with this. I like seeing these guys fight again and again because they are very competitive fights. Sneaky actually hasn't shopped yet, so it is kind of in the best interest of Unicorns of Love to try and find the right fight, but they need their ultimates up. They do not have Hecarim ultimate. They just got Syndra. They don't have Braum, so they might have to back away here.
Oh,
that's a lot of wards. Actually, it mean that they catch out Hulisang, but he will put up the shield. And that means most of that damage is blocked, but Cloud9 have positional advantage. There's the fish, it's on the AD carry. This is a death for Vardags. It's Balls that gets that one. And now the rest of Cloud9, will they try and collapse in, or will they just back away and get the dragon? It's dragon.
Yeah, some things have to be given up. You try and try again, it's like bashing your head against a wall. It wasn't going to work there for Unicorns of Love without the ultimates. They really wanted to. They really needed it. They had a few good reasons to go in because Sneaky hadn't shopped yet and he was going to be such a beast when he goes back to base. Well, too bad. They get the dragon and Sneaky bought a BF sword.
Yeah, and the big difference you can see between the two top laners as well. Vizicachi still farming up a storm. Ball's already got that Frozen Heart on him from before that fight. So they'd already been back, they'd already shopped, they'd already got those items complete. Whereas Unicorns of Love are still waiting to get those. High, again, the creator landing everything onto Vardags that he needed to. Nope. Flash, of course, now back available for Vardags. It would have been beautiful a moment ago, but 3 wards cleared out there. That was a sign when their 3 go down. When you see something like that, you think, okay, communication's not quite at a premium just yet.
I'd have to agree right there. I'm just thinking of the game as well. That first dragon, while it seems like a good idea, you take a dragon in a lane swap, wait until you have a bit of damage first, so it doesn't take 40 seconds to clear. That's at least a full wave from every single lane. Well, and very valuable experience early on.
I mean, talking about damage, when you've got a Hecarim at level 2, Kikis on Xin Zhao, and a Braum with you, you've literally got no damage there at all.
At least they only took 1 hit. They did a good job of bouncing the aggro around, but it just wasn't worth it.
See if they can catch out high. Kikis will join Vardags and Hulisang. They'll scan out that brush just to make sure that there are no wards. There's no wards in the bottom brush either, but High is sitting right back on this one. Only last hitting those minions so that he doesn't push that wave out too far and in complete safety at this stage.
Yeah, they're investing far too much, it seems. Unicorns, High's just simply not falling for it. They have no vision of a bunch of players, so why would he ever push up there? And you can see the rest of the team are sweeping around, trying to give them vision. This is the roaming squad of Sneaky, Meteos, and Lemonation. They're getting stunned to slowly get those deep wards. It is going to get 4-4. Kikis may well try and smite this one, but Cloud9 have the numbers advantage. Power of Evil is going to join this one, so they really want to make sure this blue is locked up in Cloud9's favor. It's going to have to be smited, but it's not picked up. It's Meteos and Sneaky that get it.
Yeah, and now they might try and get the counterfight. Maokai coming in.
Oh, it's Lemonation that will flash in, but they're going for Power of Evil on the backside. The fish lands. Has he got the damage? No, shut down there as the push from around the side comes in. Sneaky goes onto the rampage. Vardag's nice little dash over the wall will get him out of harm's way, and that will be a 2-for-1 in favor of Cloud9, plus the blue buff as well.
Definitely seemed like High got a little bit hyphy there, going into absolutely everyone. But because he went so far in, the damage was in no way close to where Kikis and Hulisang were. So they get a 2-for-1 and the blue buff and a decent amount of control.
2 towers going down, and the pause comes out at the 20-minute mark, sorry. Can't count. I was confused
19,
by the 30-minute timer there. Yeah, I don't know where I am. Right. Well, I can tell you where I am. It's the Intel Extreme Masters in San Jose. In Cloud9, those guys on your screen, they're 2-0 up right now. And the pressure is very much on the Unicorns of Love because it is Cloud9 once again asserting control over the Unicorns, who themselves have the Unicorn on the top lane. We'll see if it works out, because Hecarim in the top lane, it's not your standard pick, but that's what we're kind of used to from Unicorns. But the problem is, have they fell for their own hype?
I'm not sure. I still think it's not a bad pick. I just think the inexperience of this team is being exposed a little bit by Cloud9. Cloud9, a very veteran team, the same 5 players for seemingly ever now. There's pretty much. And the Unicorns of Love just coming together, having the nice picks to surprise people. But Cloud9, they've seen a lot of things, and they're usually prepared for it. Knowing how to deal with Hecarim top, you know, and also knowing how to lane swap a team that's not as experienced as them. They made the proper choices time and time again. When you lane swap, you're just increasing, you're basically shrinking the game down. You have to start making team decisions in the laning phase, and that is something that you do not get from solo queue experience or being exceptional players, which I think Unicorns of Love are. The solo lanes, mid lane and top, and even some of their support and AD carry play have been all exceptional individually, but you really pressure their teamwork when you lane swap early.
Well, we are waiting to find out here what the problem is and, more importantly, get that fixed. You have the admins there behind High. It seems like it is a problem with High right now. May have been the cause of him going too deep in that last fight.
The problem is, it's like, guy, I went in, nobody followed me. There must be a problem in my communications because normally they follow me. But they got 2 kills. It was all good. Yeah. You can see that trophy, of course, on the front. That is what they're playing for. And, of course, the qualification spot for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships will be happening in Katowice in 2015. Kick is on your screen there. He's played some fantastic stuff this weekend, no doubt about it. That Twisted Fate caught everyone off guard, yourselves included, and it was spectacular. So it really is quite refreshing to see on this 420 patch, is what we were hoping for, honestly. Whole plethora of new things.
He seems like he's pretty attached to the Devourer, though. Like as Kobe was saying, every single item choice, and his jungle choices are pretty much picked up by that Devourer. Cloud9, though, trying to make a fight happen.
Well, Meteos will be all about landing the Q. It's a good slow from the side there from Hylissang. Will stop Meteos getting in range. The Q then not landing. That means that no kills, at least for now, will happen. But the Unicorns of Love setting up with 4 men in the tribush. Power of Evil's coming around. Balls will throw in his sapling, but that only means that they see him coming. It's a great flash into the Lantern. Off to safety. Even got the crab down there for the speed boost.
May as well, but the rotations continue. Unicorns of Love pressing hard. Kikis, he's pretty squishy.
Oh, and he gets hooked in beautifully once again by Lemonation. Vizichachi will get the kill onto Balls. He was already low, but look at all of the Unicorns. They're so low. Sneaky joins the fight. Now they're going to come around. Hylissang will go down. The culling is keeping them at bay, but only so long. A beautiful kick by Meteos. It doesn't get answered like it should. There's the cleanup crew once again. A Sneaky and High joined the fight, and just like that, the Unicorns are aced by Cloud9.
What a sweet fight there by Cloud9, and that may well get them the series and the championship here in San Jose, because, man, Meteos has played amazingly right there.
Meteos, you can tell himself, he was so pumped by that one. I want to see highlights on that click. It's absolutely going on the top of Reddit, no doubt.
Yeah, let's check this out one more time. Obviously, Kikis is caught out, and then it's this really crazy back-and-forth fight. Sneaky not quite there at the start to get a lot of damage down, but then the presence of mind to know who he cues for Meteos. We have to check who he lands it on. Power of Evil, and then he waits until just the last second, reorients himself almost immediately, kicks through pretty much everyone to get them low, and that makes the cleanup a piece of cake for the rest of Cloud9. High comes from one side, Sneaky gets the other. They finish off the entire team.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant stuff there. Unicorns, they thought they were the ones setting the trap, but Cloud9 are so fast at reacting to those sort of plays. They were already kind of close by. Sneaky, actually, while that was all happening, he took down the mid-inner turret as well, I think he did, so they put a lot of pressure down there. So currently 4-2 in turrets, massive advantage for Cloud9 now, with the Dragon spawning in 25 seconds. I'm not sure this time around the Unicorns want to fight for it.
Yeah, I think they have to give it up to Cloud9. And Meteos should very well feel very hyped about that play, because we've been talking about his Lee Sin a fair bit here, and his reputation on Lee Sin is he's kind of just a workhorse. He'll out-farm you, he'll control you a little bit. He used to slow your attack speed, he'd play this tank Lee Sin, get good wards down, but the knock on him was like, he's not gonna make any highlight, sweet insect type kickbacks. There's his highlight right there. It was awesome.
And another dragon here for Cloud9. Their second of the game puts them closing in on a 6,000 gold lead, and the Unicorns need to be careful. Hylissang will be caught out, and he will block a lot of the damage, but will he block all of it? Actually does stay alive, and Balls has to take the Lantern in, and Vizicsacsi then diving in from the side. Another hook. Vizicsacsi will go down. Balls gets that one. There is Vardak's low as well. Meanwhile, Kikis is falling over on the other side. Can they finish him? They surely will. High is low. Exhaust goes on to High, and it seems like they've got away from this one, at least for now. 2-0. That kill actually went, by the way, to Lemonation, who's 5-1-10. I didn't even notice that.
Wow. That's a lot of support kills. Lemon carry right here. Maybe we should build a Bloodthirster on Thresh, get some AD cone, because this is just piling on the gold differential. This year, the gold differentials are not going to be as big, around 20 minutes, but this would be what a gold differential used to be when it was big. They are crushing Unicorns of Love right now from the very start. Now with objective control, ward control, and finding the right fights.
And that fight right there, that was pure example of the difference in gold right now, because it was a very good fight for Unicorns of Love. They had a lot of damage, but it wasn't quite enough. Everybody was getting away with just a few hit points, and they got turned around so quickly. Blue Buff will go to Power of Evil, and they're going to have to really try and just farm this one out as much as they can. This bottom tower is not going to get picked up. Trinity Force was the first item for Vizicsacsi, and now with the Merc Treads complete, I'm not sure, he's going in. He is obviously going to be the horse that charges into the fight, but as we saw there, he charged in and just got dropped instantly.
He really did. He's not at the point that he needs to be. He needs to have substantially more tankiness or better ultimates, honestly. He needs to actually land the Terrify on people. That time he kind of ulted in just to get in range, so he had no mitigation coming down from any of his crowd control. Hylissang in trouble.
Fish on a hook, but that might actually cost him. That's a good play from Lemonation. He will be slowed, and look at the rest of the team. They're coming in from the backside. The Unicorns of Love are in trouble. Q will land on the AD carry. Meanwhile, Sneaky is just dueling Power of Evil at the back. One more rocket will do it. He dodges the first one, did get the kill in the end, but Cloud9 on the other side are actually being beaten back here, and that is going to be the kill. It's a double for Kikis with the shutdown, and Sneaky wondering what happened.
Yeah, well, the team is wondering what happened to Sneaky, because he was coming with the rest of them to give some backup for Meteos and High. Balls didn't make it in at all. His teleport is on cooldown right now, must have canceled it. And yeah, a very rare miscommunication by Cloud9. Unicorns of Love capitalizes, gets some shutdown gold, and some breathing room.
We'll see if that's enough. Let's check out that replay, because this is what happened as, well, High started to get everything off.
Yeah, and the story's going to be in the minimap, because it looks like High and Lemonation are delaying this long enough. It's like, all right, Corki and Lee Sin going to come for the cleanup. Then Sneaky sees a shiny thing, goes to kill Power of Evil, and no one comes to help Unicorns of Love. Meteos and High fly all in like they're going to get some backup. They lose the fight. Sneaky never arrives. That was a nice play by Vardegs, and they just get wrecked.
Oh, wow, Vardegs, that's a attack move right there. Actually put two hit, the double hit went onto the ward instead of finishing off High so quick as he should have. It's a tricky thing, the attack move. We've seen it
I just
quite
started to get really
times.
excited at the screen, so I was like, it must have been a good play. But yeah, actually, if you're an AD carry who uses attack move frequently, or if you know an AD carry does a lot, and you have a Sightstone, just placing wards in front of them can sometimes save your life, because they will try and attack the ward the instant it gets placed.
Oh, this is...
Okay, this is it. Kikis has to get this smite. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the best choice there for Cloud9. Don't want to risk Kikis being able to get any smite. Would have been up in time there, I feel. Flash was available for him as well. So, probably a wise decision for Cloud9 not to actually follow through on that one. Meanwhile, Vizicsacsi is hammering away on this inner turret. Cloud9, you're probably not going to be able to stop him taking this turret, although the minion wave is going to be gone, which means he takes at least 2 turret hits. There's a hook from the side. Meteos is at half HP, though. He actually needs to be fairly careful in that one. Vizicsacsi will just go steaming off. Meanwhile, Sneaky being focused here by Kikis. We will see balls coming in from the side, and Kikis has gone so very deep on that one. Gets hit with the big one. One more will be able to do it. Vizicsacsi died there on the bottom side, and Cloud9 are chasing still.
Well, Balls is going to try and catch on towards them. They've got Lemonation. He's come all the way from that bottom and joined Balls in that top lane. He's just been stunned out. And Unicorns, they're trying to back away from this one because their mid lane is completely exposed. And that is where Cloud9 are trying to focus their attention. Red buff will get taken down. And, well, it's actually not a bad trade at the end of the day. A death on Vizichachi for that bottom inner turret is a good pickup for Unicorns at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and the game got a little bit chaotic here, which normally Cloud9 does a great job of controlling, but Unicorns of Love were fighting back a little bit right there. I still feel like if Cloud9 controls this properly as the Dragon comes down and they do have a Raptor buff to clean wards, they're going to be all right. Sneaky at 7-0 and 7 is such a force. And I don't see the answer as of yet. If Unicorns of Love can tank up enough with Hecarim, Sinjao, and Braum, maybe, but they can't get caught like that.
Hecarim gonna go down to half HP. Balls already right in the middle, but gotta look for high. He throws the fish out. It actually missed there on Balls. Continues to tank there. He's high diving in. Vizichachi going low. Can they actually finish him? They do in the end. Kikis will also go down. They need to focus him, and there's a hook from Lemon Nation. That means 3 men down here for the one of Cloud9, and that will open up Dragon number 3.
Lemon Nation's Thresh is fantastic, and they're really good at placing wards at the same time, too. But that was such a good fight there by Cloud9, also going for this Dragon.
Well, while that whole fight was happening, you got to think, where was Power of Evil? He was zoned out the top, wasn't with the rest of his team, and there was just not a lot of damage going down there. Like, Kikis going very deep once again, trying to control them, did zone them pretty well, but without Power of Evil following through, he's just zoned away from the top there.
I mean, that's the biggest thing to keep in mind here, but think of the composition he's up against. There's so much more for him to fear than there was yesterday against Team Solomid as far as things that zone him out. He has to respect the fish. Sneaky's really close to him. He goes around that side. He's going to get Valkyried on by Sneaky, maybe flashed on by Lemonation. He's just really slow to get to the punch, and because of that, by the time he makes it, he's too low. And the range differentials he's having to deal with and what is threatening to him versus where he can be threatening are razor thin right now, and he was just in the wrong spot that fight.
So 23-12, 5,000 gold lead for Cloud9. What's the plan here? First of all, it will be to clear out Baron. That sapling will in fact spot them, and it's going to aggro the Baron as well. Not always nice. Cloud9 will in fact back away. Another ward put down by UOL will mean that they keep vision of that area. And I don't see Cloud9 even thinking about starting a Baron at this stage.
No, but the Unicorns are doing a good thing here. They know if there's a Baron threatened, that's fine. We're going to keep Vizichachi. We're going to play your own game. You did this against us the last 2 matches. We're going to keep Vizichachi pushing that bottom wave, forcing them to actually react to him in that bottom lane. And you can see it is another back. Balls is going back there. He has got teleport. He's going to have to clear that wave out. And again, Unicorns. This is where they need to do something, though. This is where they've been caught out so many times and not getting baited in like that. Big bomb from Sneaky, catching on 3 of them there.
And yeah, still no answer for Sneaky, but most importantly, I think the shutdown onto Power of Evil, he has not really been the largest threat here. A lot of tankiness, though, coming in from Cloud9. It is very difficult for him to get involved, as we saw. And I'm a little bit surprised they have gone away from that split push bottom so readily. It seemed like Vizichachi was actually getting a lot of work done right there. They might try and force something since they have brought him back now.
Trying to get in onto Sneaky there, but Cloud9 dominating UOL's jungle at this stage. I think they can catch out high. Vizichachi gonna go charging in here. Still has the ultimate. There is the fish coming down. Is he gonna follow through? No, but Kikis will. High will instantly use the Zhonya's. Balls will join in as well. Meteos finally comes around the side. It looks like Kikis will be the first target. But Hurley-Sang off the side goes low. Sneaky's gone a bit too deep.
Oh, he's got it.
Will actually fall. A final shutdown coming in from Yardax. Oh, Vardax is just actually his name. Vizichachi continues to chase as well. Lemon Nation should fall. Double kill. High now will also be followed through on. Exhaust was used. Meteos should be able to get away from this one once that safeguard actually comes up. Yep, off to the ward, and Vizichachi will back off. So another very chaotic fight, ending a 2-for-1 actually in favor of UOL.
Yeah, they're starting to get to that Hecarim point if Cloud9 isn't careful, but they have to be careful not to get too aggressive here. Balls is back from base.
Oh, but it's going to be Hylissang that gets locked up. High still very low, but he's not getting focused. Vardex can't get the shots on him. But Balls, he's in trouble. I'm not sure he's going to escape this one. They will go down. High's been teetering on the edge so low on hit points, so long in this one. But the Unicorns, while they got kills, they will get no objectives from this one unless they can push a tower. They can't risk the Baron. And Cloud9 are happy with that fight.
You're right. Objectives are working against Unicorns of Love in a lot of ways. 3 dragons ever since Unicorns of Love got that very, very early one, some 2 or 3 minutes in the game. But the fights are kind of beginning to go their way. It's because Sneaky was actually caught that fight. He's the one person they had not controlled up until then. The start of it, very strange. It looked like Hai had a bit of an outplay there, getting Kikis' ult out, meant Xin had no armor or MR from any of that. But the backside of this fight just didn't go the right way. Finally, Visit Shachi got the crowd control down from his Hecarim ultimate, and it pushed Sneaky in the perfect direction, right into Power of Evil's hands. They kill him. After that, the chase was easy because Hecarim's really fast, and he used his Ghost, and they get the 2 for 1.
Well, he might need to be fast here, and he does back away. Cloud9 just moving into that inner turret will take it with no real reply there from the Unicorns of Love. They were still concerned with the top side of their map. And that is turret number 5 for Cloud9. Well, only 1 turret down on that front note, but still trailing in this game. Those 10 kills. Finally getting the shutdown onto Sneaky though, so it's always a bonus for Vardex, who's got now that last Whisper, another BF sword added in as well. But can they hold off against Cloud9 underneath these towers?
Well, they've been against, honestly, the vision control that Cloud9 have had the entire game, and they really put a lot of pressure on them. They've stuck it out pretty well. You were talking about the gold advantage that they had so early on in the game is still there at 5,000 gold, but it is not stretching away from them. And honestly, the last couple of fights, last couple of skirmishes they've had have gone well for Unicorns. Hylissang once again, the front man, probably a little too strong in that one. And another great hook from Lemon Nation starting things off.
Well, he has been the sponge for many Lemon Nation hooks, but you can only use a sponge so many times before you have to get rid of it. Otherwise, he's not cleaning the dishes anymore. 0, 7, and 10 right here for Pump. He's not effective at his job of being a hook sponge anymore. He just dies. And now Cloud9 gets more control over Baron.
The Baron bait is on. Is it going to be strong enough? Doesn't look like the Unicorns want to contest this one. I think they're willing to give this up. They realize they can't go in towards that dark territory. They have no vision of it. They have no Scrying Orb, I believe. Oh, Scrying Orb was used, actually. There it is. They knew it was going down. And, of course, they give it up. So, Cloud9 now have a big advantage pushing through. Going to pick up those waves, boost them up, and see what they can gain from it.
Plus Dragon number 4 on the way. They have cascading advantages right now, and the use of Cloud9's Baron buffs has been so good at IEM San Jose right here. It's tough for Unicorns of Love. They basically have to catch them in a fight the instant Cloud9 starts pushing. Otherwise, they will lose an inhibitor to the Baron, and because of a down inhibitor, lose the 5th Dragon, and then also lose the game from that. There's very few options for Unicorns of Love here.
I really like the Baron buff, actually, the siege breaker that it gives, honestly, because I remember talking to a lot of teams throughout the World Championships. They were saying, you know, the current state of the game, while you have this big snowball advantage, you just can't break that base down unless you get a pick or get something lucky off there, which is why we were seeing the long stalled out matches that we were getting. Of course, with these buffed up siege minions, you can see, obviously, they're coming more often. They have such a long range. You were talking about it earlier on. They outrange the turret, so you physically have to deal with it. And Unicorns, well, we're going to have to see the culling coming out. Power of Evil's going to have to get out in front of them and create something. But Cloud9, they're just going to move to the top. That's going to be an easy inner turret. And I'll be surprised to see Unicorns just leaving their base area right now.
Where is Balls going? They're checking in case of the ward. There's the Balls coming through. He'll not quite be the face check. Visit Chachi.
This could be a good fight. They should fight.
Yeah, this might not actually be bad for them. They do some damage, but Cloud9 going to continue to chase through on this one. Balls all on his own. They managed to hook in Kikis. Masses of damage just not there with High and Sneaky at the back. The fish goes wide as well, and that was just not on point for Cloud9.
No, the really important thing here is Cloud9 has to back. They have to use that empowered recall, and they have to reset, so they do not get many more chances of that. That is such a great hole by Unicorns of Love. They needed that before a siege could be set up, at least forcing some type of a skirmish and not losing it.
A giant bottom wave being dealt with. Balls will clear that out. And as you mentioned, it does reset the clock for now. It's at about 80 seconds left on this buff, and I don't think that's going to be enough for them pushing. You can see Cloud9 taking short. They can use full advantage of this little bonus they've gained. Meteor's actually catching on Hillisang once again. They got Sneaky there to try and clear him out, but he's going to get stunned up. Meteos is now the focus. Hook goes on Vizichachi once again. Kikis goes deep. Can they get the damage done on Cloud9? It doesn't seem so. Kikis is running for his life. The rest of Cloud9, they're collapsing back on, and the chase is on.
There's a flash hook available here, coming out, and they got advantage in there. Kikis will be pulled in by Lemon Nation, and that may just be enough. One man down for them. They're going to send these minions tumbling up the middle lane, and in a 5 versus 4, can Cloud9 work through into the base of the Unicorns?
Lemon Nation's hooks are so critical. They do have those super minions as well. Well, the super Baron minions, whatever you want to call them. That's an easy inhibitor, maybe more.
Well, they have still, what, 30, 40 seconds on the Baron buff, so they're going to have a lot of health to push on towards these Nexus turrets. Stun comes out from Power of Evil. The damage not really there. The culling just simply keeping them away, just trying to shoo them off their Nexus turrets. But again, Cloud9, they could just turn this fight if they need to. They're going to push on towards that inner turret. Vizichachi maybe driving them out a little too far. And Sneaky Valkyrie around, and that's another inner turret going down. Cloud9 now in full control of this match.
Now would be the time Unicorns of Love really wants to fight, because they've just lost so much. They're trying to get something back.
Trying to get onto balls. There is the knockup from the ultimate of Hillisang. Vizichachi is in the middle as well, but the damage onto him is massive. Sneaky will get the first one. Kikis is low. He was hooked in there by Lemon Nation, and that means a 2 for 2 right now at least. But Sneaky, still alive, will blast down Power of Evil, and will probably get Hillisang as well. And that will be the pentakill that will surely win Cloud9, the Intel Extreme Masters here in San Jose.
Out of nowhere, it seems. I only saw he was at 2, and suddenly he's killed all 5. He sneaks up on you sometimes. 13-1 Sneaky, winning them the game.
And here we go, the final push through. No one will spawn in time, and it will be Cloud9 that are the champions of the Intel Extreme Masters, San Jose.
Yeah, what a finish
Wild
to the
celebrations,
game.
I think you could say, from Cloud9 there. They were just out of their seats in joy, yeah. A little muted, I think. They have just gone 3-0, to be fair, in the series. And honestly, overall, Cloud9 have played fantastic. No doubt about it.
They really turned it on today. I mean, being able to beat Alliance in a very close series and then really control the wildness that is Unicorns of Love. Great stuff.
Well, we're going to head over to Rivington and the boys to break down that third and final game.
Thank you very much, guys, and a pentakill to end out the game. What a fantastic way to crown the grand finalists here for the League of Legends competition at Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. I think far and beyond, it showed that Cloud9 can just reach into the history book. Like Jet said, they've seen a lot, and they can usually counter what they see.
Yeah, and in a way, too, they kind of reclaimed their crown as the best in North America. They did have that hiccup kind of coming into Worlds and TSM taking them to 5 games in a very narrow series, but it seems like they're keen on regaining their dominance.
Yeah, I mean, the finals that we had here were the 2 teams that were voted in. The top seeds both lost really early. Both of these 2 teams are the ones who actually took them down.
Yeah, and I got to say, hats off to Meteos. He just basically gave a tutorial on how to play Champions in the New Jungle, and you don't have to just farm all game with the Devour. You can actually put a lot of pressure on the map. You can go around, and nothing against Kikis. It's just like you can actually go and do a lot of nice plays in the early game. Just because the jungle can rough you up early doesn't mean you can't be out on the map.
So with what we've seen, obviously Cloud9 coming out strong, staying strong, being Cloud9. How is Unicorns of Love going to fare, do we think, in the EU LCS? They try a lot. They're diverse. They can still diversify even more as their pocket picks go deeper and deeper. will they be able to really get that much better? Because we've seen a lot. You know, it looks like they have a long room to grow.
Well, I think performing in tournaments like this during the offseason is really going to be crucial for them. It gives them so much extra stage experience that they're going to be able to utilize going into the LCS. You know, coming into another best-of-5 series, which they have seen before, but that kind of experience is really, really what you need to do well, especially as kind of a newer team. And so I think they'll look back on this and gain a lot, learn a lot before heading into next season.
Yeah, you just asked 3 ex-CLG people about potential.
Hey, don't wrap me up into that. That was after me, okay? All the potential was after me and you, okay?
Well, if it was, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just him, just mine.
Damn it.
So actually looking at that game, there's a lot of calls for Meteos, obviously, a lot of calls for Lemon Nation as well. The Thresh pickup was absolutely huge. The first pick coming into the third game, Lemon Nation, he stayed a little bit farther away from the turrets when he made his plays, and they really paid off.
Well, what I loved about watching that last game is that there was an extended about 5-minute dragon dance that kept going back and forth, but it was actually perfect for the way that Cloud9 wanted to play that game, because by kind of playing with the fog of war, continuing playing with vision, when you have Elimination landing all of these hooks, when you have this Fizz that can assassinate these single targets, their goal was to get Unicorns of Love to blow these big ults, get rid of that Heca remote, run away, catch you out again, time and time again. And they just stacked up basically a pile of bodies in the river before taking that dragon. And they didn't need the dragon right away, but you just get that advantage bigger and bigger and bigger, then take the objective anyway. And I think that's what really, really won them that game.
Yeah, the dragon bait kind of sat there for quite a long time. Nobody really ended up taking it.
Oh, I also wanted to point out that early in the tournament when Balls played Maokai, he went for the Roa build, and then I guess after playing against Alliance and Wicked, he's like, hey, that's actually a pretty annoying build to deal with. So he took a page from his book and ended up going with that.
Not a bad choice as well. It does give them the victory across the board. A huge team synergy coming out of Cloud9 here, is able to iron things out from day 1 to day 2, taking out Unicorns of Love here at Intel Extreme Masters. And now we're going to hear from the men themselves, the grand finalists, the winners. Cloud9 down on stage with Shox.
Thank you very much, Rivington. I'm assisted here by George Wu of Intel to give the guys their prizes, but let's get them up on stage. Your Intel Extreme Masters San Jose champions, Cloud9. Guys, the check is great, but you also get to grab that trophy and lift it up in the air. Go ahead. I am going to jump in here and let you guys say one thing to the crowd. I don't know who wants to take the word, but I mean, all these guys have been cheering you on. Meteos, hi. Say something to the crowd.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching all the games, by the way. Hope they were fun. Thanks for supporting us. And, I don't know, hope you're having fun.
I definitely think they had fun. We had fun. It's been amazing here in San Jose. Cloud9 are your champions. This were the Intel Extreme Masters live from the SAP Center. We love you. We'll see you in Cologne.